So welcome everyone. This week uh, we are taking part 2 of surrender and we'll go a little deeper. A little more advanced view of understanding what surrender is. So we'll recap but get into totality, what we talked about last week and this week. If we understood last week, so we will be able to go a little deeper. So first, before we talk about anything, we have to understand what it is. How to do, then doing become easier. If we understand what surrender means, because sometimes one topic could mean different for different people. Sometimes with surrender, people think, oh, is it a matter of just escaping? Am I just running away from it? So what does it mean? What does surrender actually means? And then we will get into how part. Because once we have a understanding of the how part, the doing becomes easier. And for that to happen, so let's get into deeper part. What is surrender? So remember, here we are talking about our normal day-to-day life, day-to-day activity from that perspective. So simply, if we get straight into surrender, we should accept what is. That means your daily life, whatever is happening. Now, for that to happen, you have to be fully present. You are accepting whatever is happening means situation in your life. So you are fully present. When will you be fully present? When you are in the now. Now means you are not thinking about your past, you are not thinking about your present, you are in the present moment. When we can live our life in the present moment, the past ceases to exist. The past loses any power because you are in the current moment. And if you are in the current moment, history is meaningless. So you have to surrender to now. We live most of our life either thinking about past, what has happened, good or bad, both, or we think about future, which has not happened. So when we say surrender, so whatever is happening, that is first, you should be fully present in that moment, which is now. And then third is the realm of being, which generally, our body and mind duo. This combination is the source of our ego. The source, it becomes like a cloud, which really covers it up. So the realm of being means to be one, to be yourself, to be real. And that's why, like we say human being, we don't say plant being, animal being, we say human being. And that's where your consciousness and some other factors comes into play. But when we can be in the current moment, we accept whatever is happening, considering from our being perspective, suddenly you will find stillness. Stillness means a peace inside you. Remember, you are not worried about the past nor the future. And that is the key thing here. That means you have to accept whatever is happening. There is no other way it could have happened. It was meant to happen this way only. Then only you will be able to accept it. When you have the stillness, the peace is or joy is coming from inside, because when there is stillness, now you are in the moment, you are able to appreciate what's happening. Sometimes you may have experienced, you go to work, you're driving, traffic, everything. You drive for an hour to reach work. And if you pause for a moment, if you think that what happened, at that and that part of the drive, or what happened here or there, and you may feel, you know nothing. 1 hour, and you cannot pinpoint that, this happened, this happened, this happened. So things were just happening because you are not in the moment. So what happens is when there is a stillness, you will have joy inside. Joy inside will give you, because you have peace. That's why the joy is coming. And joy gives you love. And when we can get to the point where you have love inside, then you get to a point where you can say, my life is blissful. If you're trying to change something, and that change is not coming through your consciousness, then it won't be permanent. It will be temporary. That means we have to work on ourselves, which we will see how. We have to work on our consciousness, and what consciousness is, take it at the level of your frequency, your vibration. That's your consciousness. Indirectly, your energy. So you have to achieve by working on your consciousness. And for spiritual realization, for you to come to forgiveness, for you to try to understand all these things, generally, there is maybe one or more event in your life where you have failed, where some kind of, experience, we may call it bad experience, tough life, whatever, where you feel the pain, some loss. And that is why you are drawn to this topic, either forgiveness, spirituality, whichever way we call it. You come to this dimension because you have failed deeply, you have had some loss, and it could be relation, it could be financial, it could be career, whatever. But there is a pain which is drawing you in the spiritual side. Sometimes you say, I have everything, but yet I don't enjoy anything. You have success in career, success here, there, everywhere, but it's all empty. So all the success has turned into a failure. And hence you come into says that what is surrender? What is spirituality? So failure and success, these are two sides of the same coin. They both go hand in hand. If you have success, there is a failure hidden somewhere, concealed somewhere. And if you have success, and failure, if they're going together, in every success, there is a failure, and in every failure, there is a success. So it is just because it is not permanent. It is what we call transitory. That means today you are looking at the success, failure is attached to it. Today you are looking at a failure, success is attached to it. You can say one at a time. All these things, why we are talking about surrender, why and what, it comes because the body and the mind combination. We as a human term it a good or a bad. For soul, it doesn't matter. It's just an experience. But body and the minds use this as a terminology, as the feeling, and hence the emotion, and hence your body, based on the emotion, will secrete some hormone enzymes and all that thing. So you feel that I'm in a good mood, I'm in a bad mood. Because this body mind is attaching itself and identifying it. Is it good or is it bad? Good, I'm happy. Bad, I'm sad. Why? Because this body mind has judged, has attached. And when you are attaching, when you are, going with some kind of judgment, term it good or bad. So you'll be either happy or you'll be sad. Where this negativity, where this all these things is coming from, body, mind, ego. any kind of negativity, whether it is simple as some irritation, or you get impatient very easily, or little higher anger, depression, all those things is a reflection of resistance. It is all coming from ego. Why ego is so much linked with topic surrender? Because the ego believes that through negativity I can manipulate the reality. I can get what I want. It believes that it can attract the desirable condition, or it can dissolve the undesirable one. So the ego actually is a mechanism given by nature to us to protect us. Emotionally it is protecting us, that hey, don't worry, everything is good. The ego says, no, 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 do this and your situation will improve. Why? Because if you get into surrender mode, if you get into spirituality, it will dissolve your ego. What does dissolving your ego means? It simply means your ego, in practical terms, is melting away. Of course, it never goes zero, but say 100 to 30, you drop, right? So pretty much you can say, I'm overcoming my ego. I'm dissolving it. Dissolving means the ego's existence is at risk. If anything's existence is at risk, obviously that thing will fight for it. And hence our ego fight for it. So it's not ego is evil, ego is bad. No, it's a matter of existence and everybody wants to live. Because you are threatening its existence, ego stops you from understanding what is surrender, understanding what is spirituality, understanding that, hey, this route will really get you to blissfulness. So ego says, no, 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 don't worry, keep sleeping for some more time. Don't get up in the morning. Or what is this meditation, pranayam, and yoga you are talking about? Don't worry. Hey, you are surrendering. No, 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 fight for it. All those thought process is coming because of your ego. So when we talk of surrender, keep it in mind, ego is right behind it with what we have to work. So when you have negativity inside you, it's not a bad thing. It's not a question of attaching good or bad. It's actually giving you more signal. It's poking you to be more present. We talked about surrender means you have to be in the moment. Three things we talked about, right? When we talk of surrender. So it's a good thing that negativity inside you is poking you. Whether we understand or not, that's a different thing. Once you come into spirituality, then you start understanding, oh, okay, this is a signal. So you have to be transparent in order to work on it. And that's what part of surrendering is. If you don't accept any problem, then the problem doesn't exist. And if the problem doesn't exist, there is no need for any solution. And that's what ego does. Ego wraps around that, hey, don't worry, everything is good. So first you have to be transparent if you want to remove negativity. So there is one topic, and we'll talk about how that's where we talk about forgiveness. Why? Because for surrendering, we said one of the key thing is be in the moment. That means you have to accept the first step, accept everything as is. And why surrender or this topic becomes so important? Because once we get into surrender, once we practice on daily basis, this is one way you can break your karmic cycle. I know the moment we say karma, people get nervous or excited or whatever, but you have to understand karma means action you are doing, but it's a cycle. You live and you create new karma. So if you want to break that cycle, forgiveness, eventually bigger topic, surrender is way to go, is really a helpful thing. Because anything that you want to experience, if you want to experience life, you want to experience any form of energy, you have to be in the moment. You cannot experience it in the past, and future hasn't happened, hasn't taken place, so you cannot experience. And that is where surrender, the topic, the understanding, how, what is very important. It has to be unconditional, no reservation. ego attaches. So you have to be very clear that when we will go in detail why ego is coming, because it is protecting you as a human, as a body, but we are talking at the spiritual level. And that is why it's so important. Because it's all inner phenomena. It's happening inside you, not externally. Good thing here is when we talk about surrender is you can still work on your outside. You have some desire and you think you are working in that direction. You can continue working. What is the key thing here? Just accept the now moment. Again, remember the first 2 points. As is, moment of now. That means accept. Whatever is happening, it couldn't have happened anything, in a different way, form or shape. So accept it. Live in the now means the moment. And key thing, also what we talked about is surrender doesn't mean resignations, right? It is the resistance coming from ego, which may take you in that direction. So don't judge the moment. We'll be working and talking about resistance, and we have to take action, which is okay. Surrender doesn't mean you stop taking actions for whatever change you want in life, whatever you want. It's just don't have any negativity, don't have any resistance for the now moment, because it couldn't have happened in any other way. So accept it. And this is where consciousness comes into play. This is where things come that, okay, if I'm in trouble, what do I do? Give it up, forget about surrender? No. In fact, you go more deeply. You work on the moment more and more, not less. What it means, and we'll talk about like when we talk about soul plan, the higher or the more the deviation is from our path to the current state, means my soul plan is something I'm going way away from it. So the intensity of the events happening in my life will be higher and higher. So universe has to bring us back to the path as per our soul plan. So it has to put higher and higher situation in our life. So we should do our part without expectation. Try to understand soul plan. Try to, understand what steps can be taken. New learning. Understand these topics, soul plan, purpose of life. And one key thing, your sadness, happiness depends on your internal, not external. That means no one else in this world should be responsible if you are sad or happy. If they are dictating, well, then there is a situation. Why? Because others are deciding. So, masters, this was recap plus some little higher level of what surrender means. So just remember those three things we talked about. Now, is it just spiritual? Is it just, what we think or believe? No, there have been many researchers. And as I commonly say that any topic you can research on PubMed, which is all this publication in medical journals. US, it's a free site. And when you search any topic, you can get more and more. So I'm just showing here two, and related to, impact or effect of spirituality, or spirituality training on resilience, training on coherence, impact on parenting and family adjustment. Uh, the group was basically the primary caregiver parents of children with autism. So this was selected, and why we are talking about this, because obviously if you have a child with any kind of situation, condition, then it really becomes a challenge for the family to spend not the usual time, but much more in order to take care of the child. So here the results were higher in all three categories. So 6-day customized spiritual lesson packages were administered. Only 6 days. Yes, it was customized spiritual lesson, and then they measured the impact on resilience, on coherence, and parenting and family adjustment. Why? Because when you're taking care of kids with this situation they call ASD, then it does impact the family. Because usual thing what you may be able to do under usual scenarios, sometime a compromise you are not able to do, and hence the resilience, coherence, parenting, and adjustment becomes extremely critical. So spirituality, impacts, which means again, surrendering was a part of it. And another study, 18 cases of Iranian mothers were analyzed, taking care of kids with autism. And, again, one of the thing very commonly comes is why me, right? This is the first case. If you have any life-threatening, critical, or some major event happening in your life, first question comes in our mind is, hey, why me? So sometimes we think it's bad karma, punishment, whatever. So one theme here was very clear, the inner voice, in terms of guide of taking care of the child or not. An inner voice, again, we are getting into the whether we call spirituality, surrender becomes big part of it. So what they analyze were the themes and sub-themes. So it was all, the experiment was related to spiritual journey. And then there were sub-themes, either descent, connecting to deity, or ascent. So, you have a situation where you're just wondering what it is and what will be, and you're just worried and all those kind of things. Uh, you may be reflecting on the failure. Uh, in this case, mom's struggle, if mom is taking care of the child. And the third element becomes you're helping the child, and that becomes your whole life. Means you're kind of dedicating your life. So what does these sub-themes have difference in common meaning means, in descent case and wondering, and you're always just into the why mode, why me and all that. So basically sorrow tale. Basically, you have lot more questions than answer. You are trying to escape from reality, losing hope. Once you come into connection with the spirituality side, even if it is just connection to deity, if you are going that route, you feel gratitude. You have that feeling of surrendering, right? You feel something like it's a divine test, right? Again, going to the soul plan and all. Then comes to third level where you are hopeful. So not losing hope, now you are hopeful. And you are listening to your inner voice, and that is driving you, that is making you go and do your normal thing. So the question comes, if it is so critical, it can really help us in many different form of shape, then how to surrender. We talked about surrender, so now let's talk about how. uh, we talked about three critical things: the as is, that means the current moment couldn't have been any different. The now, moment of now, so you have to come out from your past or the future, and being. These three are critical. Now, how do you surrender? So remember, your sadness or happiness should be dependent on you and only you, no one else. So if others are dictating, you will always be unhappy. So how do you achieve this? Now, there is a basic theme. You have to work on your consciousness. Right? What is consciousness? Consciousness is your energy. What is energy? Your vibration, your frequency. How do I improve? And now this goes back and forth, right? And back and forth in the sense, to improve your consciousness, you have to surrender. And in order to surrender, you use consciousness. So you see how it's kind of feeding each other. So consciousness, energy, take it as energy, helping you to surrender. And the more you surrender, the more consciousness you get. And then it's kind of helping each other scenario. So is it the only topic? And then I surrender. I learn spiritual or consciousness and all. So as you start your journey, you will come across many things. One critical thing is law of detachment. You want to surrender, understand what is law of detachment. Law of detachment means it's not that I'm detaching from my family, I'm going to Himalayas. No. Law of detachment here means I want to manifest something. Doesn't matter it is related to my spiritual journey or even if it is materialistic world. I want a car, I want a fancy watch, doesn't matter. Or I want to learn new topic in spirituality, or I want to improve my frequency, vibration, whatever your desire is. Question is, am I attaching the outcome or anything to this desire? The moment we attach, we are kind of adding an anchor. So imagine a ship, such a huge ship. When they dock, they put down anchors. Compared to the ship, anchors are small. They are heavy, but still small. But it holds the entire ship. So when we say, yeah, I have desire and I have small expectation that it should be this. Now we are attaching. Now we are using anchor. And then we say, why I can't move faster? Why nothing is happening in my life? My affirmations are not coming true because you have anchor. So in order to surrender spirituality, in order to surrender, you have thoughts and your whatever manifest you have in mind, it's okay, but no attachments. How do you get rid of attachments? You have to surrender. Now you say, wait a minute, we started with spirituality and surrender feeding each other. Now you are saying surrender and detachment feeding each other. Yes, that's the beauty of this system. Nature has given you all the tools. The moment you understand it, you can produce, you can do better and better. So don't try to go 0 to 100 in one shot. You start from somewhere, you go to the next level. And again, use this tool to feed its energy to itself. Such a beautiful system. So don't let other influence you. Don't let people come and say, oh, meditation doesn't work, I've tried and all those things. Leave it, you're wasting your time, or any kind of thing. Yes, you should be able to listen to others. Yes, it's okay, but practice detachment. Gain wisdom, that's okay. Listen to everyone, but based on your path, based on your manifest, whatever your plan is, work accordingly. If you get attached to everyone and everything around you, you are adding more and more anchors. Your speed will be drastically reduced. Okay. Now, what other thing we have to see? We keep talking about when we say surrender, soul plan. Events, whatever is happening, the first step we talk about as is, you have to appreciate and understand, not forcefully, but after clear understanding that whatever is happening, that is the way it was supposed to happen. How you will be able to understand this by understanding what is a soul plan. What is this concept? What is pre-birth planning? Why we say this was supposed to happen? What is this option A, option B? What is my free will? Understand these things a little deeper. Once you understand soul plan, once you understand what is the purpose of your life, things become clearer. And as you move forward and forward in your journey, your soul plan, your purpose of life helps you. You are still using your free will. You are still making decision on every moment like any other human. However, your choices will differ once you are in the spiritual mode, once you are in the surrender mode, once you understand that, okay, I cannot get attached to all these things. They are anchors. So see the beauty. You can ask anything to the universe. Affirmation, no problem. Don't get attached. Is that all? No. One very common situation comes with most of us. We overthink. We overcomplicate it. I have come across so many individuals. The topic that I have learned over many, many years. When they say, I am this problem, and if they want to discuss and talking one-on-one, and like I see, they know all the topics. They know what is soul plan, they know purpose of life, they know this, they know that, and yet they have all kind of issues in life. What's going wrong? Well, you have to implement it. You have to simplify and use whatever you can use. Don't overcomplicate it. Most of us who's already into meditation or in spirituality and all, we know the starting point at least. That's why you are here. If you know and you are not doing it, in a way, now it is against you. You know very well, but you are not doing it. So the understand in a way the pain of the soul that, hey, you know what to do, buddy. You know this is the right thing. Fight in the sense work. Um, I don't want to say defeat, but overcome your ego, right? So we know, but it's the ego which is trying to protect us. Ego says, hey, don't worry, why are you getting up early for meditation? Sleep extra hour. We know how to do it. I know for meditation, I must get up at this time. I have to go to work at this time or in the evening after, doesn't matter what time, but I know what meditation is. I know how to do it. Am I doing it? Is my clarity, my command on myself more powerful than the command of my mind and the body on myself? If my mind is the boss, then the body will take you, the mind will take you wherever they want. How to overcome this ego? How to be more powerful than ego? Sorry, or your body mind? Love. Why love is so important? Masters, love and fear is again like two sides of the same coin. Mhm. Your spiritual journey does lead us from fear to love. It takes you to just the flow of love. What is the main point? Main point is you cannot go after fear. You cannot go that, oh, I will defeat the fear, not that kind of feeling of defeating or, kind of working against. You overcome fear with love. Say, I have a fear of height. I have a fear of driving. I have a fear of, uh, you know, exam or public speaking. Doesn't matter what. I have fear. Doesn't matter how many times someone comes and say, hey, don't worry, public speaking, just read or present your slides or whatever topic you are doing. Don't worry, don't worry. No, that's okay. People may give me sweet words or whatever, encouraging words. It it is good, but not good enough. To overcome fear, if we use love, then it is really powerful. Spiritual journey is leading us from fear to love. Love is a very powerful healing tool. It's like a medicine. And the best part of all, we all have it. By default, universe fills, us. Every cell has love in it. However, in our life, in our day-to-day or karmic situation, we forget love exists. Who overpowers? Fear. We think love is missing, but love is there, not seen, not visible. So what you have to do is don't have a fighting approach. Just say, okay, I will do nothing to the fear. I will just bring up love. I will remove the dust from love. I will identify. Now I can see, I can play with you. I love you. So you are loving the love inside you. And when you love the love, fear has no room. You can only have one of the two. The moment you improve the love part, the fear goes away. See, no fight, no nothing. And this elimination of fear from your life will be permanent. Otherwise, you can forcefully say, yes, I can go and do public speaking, and you will forcefully go one day, and then as soon as the presentation is over, you'll start breathing heavily. Oh my God, now I can breathe kind of situation. Whereas when you fill with love, fear automatically goes away with very minimum effort. So what do? Love and more love. That's all you have to do. But how can I pump myself with more and more love? You have to first understand who I am, means what kind of thoughts I'm having on daily basis. And those thoughts will explain, that's my feeling. That's my emotions. Oh, that is what is making my attitude. Oh, this attitude makes my personality. And then you can go in the reverse order. So what's most important? You are in the moment. You are looking inward. Without that, we will not come to this understanding about ourselves because we know everything about others. We don't spend time enough to know ourselves. Once we start working on ourselves, extremely critical is forgiveness, gratitude, elevated emotions. Why? This will bring more and more love. Love is not something you use a pump and just pump the air in the tire and you say, my tire is properly inflated. Who are you going to forgive? Yourself first. Forget about others because we punish ourselves more than what we deserve. Be grateful for what you have. Yes, you may have some affirmation, something that you want to achieve. That's secondary. First, appreciate what you have. Just like love. So much is there, we don't acknowledge it. We were just talking about how to eliminate fear. First, acknowledge the elevated emotions. When you fill yourself with elevated emotions, the others, the negativity, the low level emotions automatically goes away. But what we try to eliminate fear, we try to eliminate greed, we try to eliminate, jealousy and all kind of thing. And it doesn't work. Then we say, oh, meditation doesn't work for me. No, don't try to force anyone out. Bring the positive ins, the space, consider as if it's a glass. When you fill it up with positive thing, other thing has to go out. You have no liquid, it's full of air. You start pouring in water, the air is pushed out. So am I fighting with air? No. All I'm doing is filling it with water. And that's what we have to do to eliminate negativity. Just full on fill positivity. Is it easy that I can just, work on these topics? Gratitude and all those things looks like big deal. You have to surrender. So you see again a full cycle. You have to surrender. What does surrender mean? Surrender doesn't mean I'm surrendering to fear, surrendering to jealousy, greed, lust, anger. No, you're not fighting, you're not surrendering. I'm not saying I give up. No, that's not surrender. Surrender to inner self, surrender to higher self, surrender to oneness, the prana. Ultimately, as a result, you will have blissfulness in your life. We all want blissfulness. But what happens when you get a blister? We are always, oh my God, I need medicine, I need this. And blister is actually there to heal you. It's a mechanism of the body to protect you. So when any situation comes when we are under pain, we say, oh, my bad days or what a terrible thing has happened to me. It is to heal you. It's an indication that you had a situation and now you are on the path of healing. So any negativity, what we call negativity, body and the mind, take it from the spiritual side, take it from the surrender perspective, convert it into your medicine, your healing. You say, I have a blister, that's okay. It will heal my body and I'll be blissful again. So don't worry, because once you are blissful, now you are healing others. So masters, this is what surrender all about. This is what sometimes we misjudge and we have some misconception. But once you start understanding this, it really takes you to the next level. First thing is to understand. Doing, practicing, of course, comes next. But once you get going, you get better and better at these things. And then your life is, the steering is in your hand. You can, steer your life in any direction, in any kind of situation. And really, if you want to have a blissful life, if we can understand this much, this becomes your foundation. Rest, all the tools comes above it, and no restriction, no limitation. So here we open the forum for any question, answers, or sharing. So please unmute yourself.